Cold cases have a way of lingering, not just in files or courtrooms, but in the spaces they leave behind. The empty chair at the kitchen table, the unanswered phone call, the question that keeps returning: why? They do not end cleanly. There is no courtroom verdict to steady the chaos, no graveside certainty, no final chapter. Instead, there is suspension, an emotional purgatory where hope and dread live side by side. Families of the missing do not simply grieve, they wait. And waiting can be its own kind of torment. Ray Frank Gricar went for a drive on an ordinary April morning in 2005. A half day off from work. A red Mini Cooper with a white roof. A simple, familiar route. Nothing about the day suggested that it would become the first chapter of a story that would never end. By nightfall, Ray had vanished. His car sat where he left it, but he did not return. No calls, no emails, no explanation. His absence pressed into the lives of those who knew him, settling into their chests like a weight. At first, there was urgency. Phones ringing, messages left, rational explanations offered and discarded. Maybe he lost his signal. Maybe he took a detour. Maybe he needed time alone. But as hours turned into days, something colder took hold. For families of the missing, time does not move forward the way it does for everyone else. It stretches and loops. Every knock at the door makes the heart race. Every unknown number on the caller ID makes it feel like it could finally be the call. One lives suspended between two unbearable possibilities: that your loved one is alive and suffering somewhere, or that they are gone forever. Neither allows you to rest. Birthdays come, holidays pass, anniversaries circle back like a cruel reminder. Do you set a place at the table? Do you pack away all their clothes? Do you leave their voicemail greeting untouched, just to hear their voice again? Grief without certainty is a wound that refuses to close. The roads Ray drove kept their secrets. Fields and rivers, stretches of trees, an empty parking lot seemed ordinary, but they were hiding something. Every turn he took that day became part of a puzzle with no solution. Every shadow along the road, a question that could never be answered. And the objects he left behind, the phone in the car, the keys nowhere to be found, the laptop that would later wash up ruined in the river, only deepened the mystery. They were clues, but also cruel reminders. A careful, deliberate man, suddenly gone. A life interrupted, mid-sentence. For those who loved him, the world did not simply pause. It fractured. Conversations became strained. Hope became complicated. Some days demanded belief that he would walk back through the door. Other days demanded the strength to imagine he never would. Families of cold cases often carry an invisible burden. Outsiders move on, headlines fade, and investigators retire. But the family remains, tethered to a question that never resolves. Cold cases do not grow quieter with time. They echo. Ray went for a drive. That drive never ended. And for those left behind, the silence did not fade. It settled in, permanent and unanswering, becoming not just part of the story, but the story itself. You're listening to Departed in Pennsyltucky. It's a Shame About Ray. The case of Ray Gricar. Chapter 1. A man who understood consequences. Ray Frank Gricar knew how decisions could shape a life. He spent his career in Center County, Pennsylvania, weighing guilt and innocence, measuring punishment, asking strangers in a courtroom to decide the fates of others. For Ray, consequence was never abstract. It was concrete, heavy, permanent. He dressed carefully, spoke deliberately, guarded his private life with the same discipline he brought to the courtroom. Every word, every action measured, every case mattered. Born October 9th, 1945, in Cleveland, Ohio, Ray grew up in the city's Collinwood neighborhood. He attended Gilmore Academy, a strict Catholic high school, then the University of Dayton. A summer internship at the prosecutor's office changed everything. Law was just not a career, it was a calling. After college, he returned to Cleveland for law school at Case Western Reserve, then became a prosecutor, handling cases of rape and murder with precision and unflinching focus. Ray's personal life mirrored the intensity of his career. He married Barbara Gray in 1969, and they adopted a daughter, Laura, in 1978. Divorce came in 1991. Another marriage in 1996 ended in 2001. He remained friendly with his daughter's mother, though relations with his other ex-wife were strained. By the early 2000s, he was living with his girlfriend, Patty Fornicola, in her childhood home in Bellefonte. Love, marriage, separation. He navigated them with the same meticulous care he gave a trial. Loss was not abstract. His older brother, Roy, disappeared from his Ohio home in May of 1996. A week later, his body was found in the Great Miami River. Suicide, authorities ruled. Grief and mystery were personal. They were familiar. In 2004, he announced his retirement, set for December of 2005, shortly after his 60th birthday. After decades of shaping the fates of others, he planned to step away. And then, Ray went for a drive and never came back. Chapter 2. The Drive That Didn't End. Ray left work early that day, just a half day, and climbed into his red 2004 Mini Cooper, white top gleaming, vanity plate fixed to the bumper. The kind of car that caught the eye. The kind the police would later hope someone remembered. The weather was perfect. The kind that begged for the sunroof to be cracked open and the windows down. Small, nimble, and full of personality, Ray's Mini Cooper hugged corners and darted through the streets like it had a mind of its own, making every turn, every move, feel alive, unforgettable. At 11:30 a.m., Ray called his longtime girlfriend Patty. He told her he was heading northeast on Route 192 towards Lewisburg in Union County, Pennsylvania. It was one of the first warm days of spring. He mentioned passing through Brush Valley, northeast of Center Hall, hoping to enjoy the weather. The call was casual, routine, reassuring. It would be the last time anyone heard his voice. Ray never came home that afternoon. As the day darkened, worry tightened into fear. By 11:30 p.m., 12 hours after the silence began, Patty reported him missing. From that moment on, Ray disappeared entirely. No calls, no emails, no financial activity. Nothing. For Patty, the silence was immediate and total. Ray was not a man who drifted. He did not miss work. He did not forget obligations. His absence was not gradual. It was absolute. Police did not wait 48 hours. Ray was just not missing. He was the county's chief law enforcement officer. If something had gone wrong in his life, it mattered to the entire community. By morning, the search began. Investigators found his red Mini Cooper parked in the lot of a small antique store in Lewisburg. An unremarkable spot, the kind you pass without noticing. The store owner thought Ray might have been there that day, though he wasn't sure. The man he remembered appeared to be waiting for someone. Ray loved antiques, and the stop made sense, but nothing could be confirmed. Inside the car, cigarette ash lingered, a small puzzling detail. Ray had always despised smoke. Ray's county-issued cell phone rested quietly on the seat. Everything else that mattered was gone. No laptop, no keys, no wallet, no signs of a struggle, no blood, no broken glass. The car sat silently, as if its driver had simply stepped away. The location unsettled everyone involved. The parking lot overlooked two bridges spanning the Susquehanna River. Years earlier, Ray's brother Roy had parked near the water before taking his own life. The similarity was impossible to ignore. Search teams combed the river and banks. Divers plunged beneath the current. Boats traced every inch. Nothing. No clothing. No trace of Ray. Then, the dogs complicated everything. A sniffer dog alerted near the car, not with the urgency of a chase, but something else. Something that hinted Ray might have left in another vehicle, not alone, possibly with someone else. The case accumulated silence. The FBI was called in. Investigators pored over bank accounts, credit cards, and phone records. No unusual activity. No purchases. No calls. No digital footprint. Ray had simply stopped. Authorities confirm he had received no threats. His work, including high-profile, sometimes contentious cases, was not considered a factor. Foul play remained a possibility, but proof was elusive. 3 days after Ray vanished, his daughter Laura spoke to the press, her face etched with worry and exhaustion. She poured out her longing for her father, how she wanted to hear his voice, to feel his hug, to go on one of their mountain hikes and simply talk. She made a desperate appeal to anyone who might have seen him, urging them to contact the police. Her words carried both heartache and urgency, a haunting reminder that Ray was gone and no one knew where. Chapter 3: Preemptive Silence. In a missing person case, investigators begin close. They circle inward before they ever look outward. By the time Bellefonte police asked Laura Gricar to take a polygraph, it was not because she was considered a suspect. It was because she was his daughter. Ray Gricar had been gone long enough for urgency to shift into procedure. His car had been found, his belongings logged. Leads followed and thinned. When physical evidence refuses to speak, detectives turn to proximity. Who was closest? Who might he call? Who would he trust if he had chosen to disappear, or if something had gone terribly wrong? Investigators did not believe Laura was involved in her father's disappearance. But Ray had been closest to two people above all others: his daughter Laura and his girlfriend Patty. If he were alive somewhere, by choice or by force, those were the two people he would most likely reach out to. So Laura agreed to take the polygraph. Laura passed. Investigators ruled out the possibility that her father had secretly contacted her after vanishing. For the family, that conclusion was both relief and heartache. Ray's nephew, Tony, understood what the silence meant. Laura, he believed, was the center of his world. If Ray were alive and safe, he would have found a way to let her know. The fact that he had not done so forced the family to confront a reality they had resisted. Ray was probably not alive. Patty Fornicola had taken her own polygraph earlier that summer. Like Laura, she had agreed without hesitation. Those closest to a missing person are often asked to take a polygraph test, not because they are suspected, but because investigators must eliminate every possibility if the case eventually turns towards foul play. Police describe the strategy as preemptive. If the disappearance ultimately proved to be criminal, the first place detectives would look was the inner circle. By administering the tests early, they could remove that layer of uncertainty before it had the chance to fester. Plans were made to extend the process to Ray's former wives and his nephews, including Tony. For consistency, the same Secret Service examiners would conduct the tests, ask identical questions, and maintain the same neutral demeanor. Procedure mattered. Consistency mattered. Tony made clear he would comply without hesitation. If he knew anything, he would tell the authorities. The family understood the unspoken rule of missing persons investigators. Even love must be verified. Even trust must be tested. You clear the inner circle first, or the investigation risks collapsing under rumor. And so the circle tightened and cleared. Meanwhile, a flicker of possibility surfaced hundreds of miles away. Photographs taken at a Texas chili grill and bar showed a man who resembled Ray. For a brief moment, hope edged back into the conversation. Perhaps he had left voluntarily. Perhaps he was starting over, somewhere far from Pennsylvania. The FBI conducted a preliminary analysis. Early results suggested the man in the photographs was not Ray, though officials emphasized the review was ongoing. The message relayed to the family was cautious and sobering. They should not place too much hope in the images. Tony did not. From the beginning, he had doubted the resemblance. Hope, in a case like this, becomes something fragile, something you learn to ration. Behind the scenes, investigators continue to rotate through scenarios: voluntary disappearance, accident, suicide, foul play. The list of theories was longer than the list of suspects. In truth, the suspect list was short. Painfully short. The central problem remained unchanged. With no body and no direct evidence, the investigation had nowhere definitive to go. Unless Ray's remains were found, there was no clear pivot point, no event that would force the case into resolution. What remained was silence. And silence, in a missing persons case, is never neutral. For detectives, it is an obstacle. For a daughter waiting for proof of life, it is something heavier. Chapter 4: When the River Spoke. More than 3 months later, the river spoke again. On July 30th, 2005, fishermen found Ray's county-issued laptop submerged beneath a bridge between Lewisburg and Milton. The computer was damaged, waterlogged, and incomplete. The hard drive was missing. Divers returned to the river. Again, nothing. 2 months after that, a hard drive was recovered along the riverbank, about 100 yards from where the laptop had been found. Investigators believed it had come from Ray's computer, but it was severely damaged, destroyed beyond recovery. The missing files and destroyed evidence deepened suspicion, raising questions about what information was deliberately concealed. No files, no emails, no answers. Years later, Another detail emerged quietly. Before Ray disappeared, someone using the home computer he shared with Patty had searched the internet for how to wreck a hard drive, fry a hard drive, and cause water damage to a notebook computer. The searches didn't explain what happened to Ray. They only deepened the silence. A seasoned prosecutor vanished. His car was left behind. His laptop was destroyed. His hard drive was erased. The river searched again and again and gave nothing back. Ray went for a drive. The drive never ended. Chapter 5. The file that wasn't there. When investigators eventually revisited Ray's past cases, they did not begin with scandal. They started with routine. Ray Gricar had prosecuted hundreds of crimes. He left behind files, notes. His thinking mapped in ink and paper. That was his habit. Even when he declined prosecution, there was a record, a reason, a trail. Except for one. In 1998, Ray reviewed allegations against Jerry Sandusky, then an assistant football coach at Penn State University. Years later, when detectives searched for his reasoning, they expected something ordinary. A memo explaining insufficient evidence, a credibility issue with the witness, or a court limitation. Instead, they found nothing. No memo, no internal correspondence, no explanation preserved anywhere in Ray's files. The absence unsettled investigators more than the decision itself. Prosecutors decline cases all the time, but Ray documented his reasoning meticulously. Silence was not his style. Some believed he might have declined to press charges to avoid confronting a hometown institution. Penn State football was more than a program. It was identity, pride, tradition. Authorities later confirmed there was no evidence linking Ray's disappearance to that decision. Yet the timing added tension. Years after Ray vanished, the Jerry Sandusky case exploded into public view. The crimes, abuse of children by a trusted coach, shattered confidence in leadership, and exposed institutional failures that reached far beyond one man. When Jerry Sandusky was eventually charged and later convicted of multiple counts of child sexual abuse, the story became one of betrayal, of children, of trust, of a community's belief in itself. As the world reevaluated who had known what and when, attention drifted backwards towards Ray. Not because he disappeared, but because something in his files had. For detectives, it was a question without a home. If Ray felt pressure, he would have never written it down. If he had feared retaliation, he never voiced it. If the decision weighed on him, he carried it alone. The case did not explain Ray's disappearance, but it complicated it. Chapter 6. The Petition. There comes a point in every long-term missing persons case when hope and reality collide in a courtroom. Not at a trial, not before a jury, but in a quiet civil hearing where the question is no longer where is he, but is he gone? More than 6 years after Ray Gricar vanished, his daughter Laura took a step no family ever wants to take. By the 6th year, the legal world he once navigated so confidently had become something else entirely for his family. Estate matters lingered, unresolved. Financial questions remained suspended. Paperwork bore the quiet, cruel designation, missing. So Laura Gricar filed a petition in Center County Court, asking a judge to do what no daughter ever truly wants to do: to declare her father legally dead. It was not an accusation. It was not a surrender. It was an acknowledgement of time. The petition cited the diligent inquiry conducted by law enforcement since the day that Ray disappeared. Every reasonable avenue had been explored. Every credible lead followed. There had been no verified sightings, no contact, no evidence that he was alive. After 6 years, Pennsylvania law allowed for the presumption of death. A hearing, not about how Ray died, not about who is responsible, not about answers, just about recognition. For families of the missing, this is one of the most painful thresholds. Declaring someone legally dead does not explain what happened. It does not soften the mystery. It does not replace the absence with certainty. It simply forces the world to move forward on paper, even when the heart resists. And in the case of Ray Gricar, the absence of contact became its own form of evidence. No courtroom would solve the mystery of the drive that never ended. Instead, it would mark the moment when a daughter chose to stop waiting for a call that had not come in more than 6 years. In missing person cases, death is often confirmed by discovery: a body, a scene, an answer. In this case, it would be confirmed by time. Chapter 7: The Theories That Lingered. As years passed, detectives chased hundreds of leads. Sightings came from across the country and overseas. Some were sincere, some desperate, but none held. 3 explanations remained, each incomplete, each leaving more questions than answers. One possibility was that Ray had died by suicide. The river had been shallow that year, and no body was ever recovered. The echoes of his brother's death years earlier, parked near water, a sudden, unexplainable disappearance, made it impossible to ignore the parallel. Yet, those who knew Ray best could not reconcile it with the man they knew. He was weeks from retirement, talking cautiously about the future, planning for tomorrow. There had been no goodbye, no emotional trail. Another theory suggested Ray chose to disappear, starting over somewhere far away. Friends recalled him mentioning the case of a Cleveland police officer who vanished and began a new life. A story he had told casually, not as a confession, but as curiosity. Sightings trickled in, some placing him in a Wilkes-Barre bar, others imagining him overseas, perhaps in Slovenia, where he spoke the language fluently. But the reality of his financial withdrawal, less than $10,000, did not support a long-term escape. He had left behind his family, his responsibilities, and the life that he had carefully managed. The third possibility haunted quietly, that someone else had ended his life. Investigators looked outward, reviewing his cases, past prosecutions, and even unsolved crimes. They considered the death of Jonathan Luna, a federal prosecutor found in a creek years earlier. They examined drug cases Ray had worked, including heroin rings he helped dismantle. Nothing connected. No enemies emerged. No threats were found. And no witnesses had seen him meet anyone or enter the river. Violence left no trace. Epilogue. Where he went. The desk in Ray Gricar's Bellefonte office waited. Papers stacked neatly. Pens lined up. A calendar frozen on April 15th, 2005. The echo of a gavel lingers in the hallways. A reminder of decisions weighed, lives shaped, and consequences carried with absolute precision. Ray moved through life like clockwork, a man who left no trace, until the day he vanished. The river flows on, indifferent. Bridges arch overhead, shadows stretching across the current, hiding nothing, yet revealing nothing. Somewhere along the roads he knew by heart, fields and valleys kept their secret. The questions Ray would have demanded answers for, now demanded him instead. In the end, the mystery is not only what happened, but who he became in those final hours. A man meticulous and deliberate, gone without a trace, leaving a void that no routine, no investigation, no reconstruction can ever fully fill. The law he enforced, the order he prized, the logic he lived by, all dissolve in the space he left behind. Ray went for a drive and did not come back. The roads hold him, the river keeps him, and time moves on. But somewhere between the two, a man who measured life with precision exists only in memory, questions, and the persistent silence of the world he left. If you or anyone with information in the disappearance of Ray Frank Gricar, please call 1-800-4PA-TIPS. This concludes this week's episode of Departed in Pennsyltucky. I'm your host, Andrea Dudek. Tune in next time for more true crime talk without the Valley Girl squawk.